All right, doing a quick check-in. On week 2 with the CPAP, went from about 4 hours, 4 to 5 hours a night. I'm up to 7. I'm here at the Starbucks. I'm probably gonna go to Sprouts when I get done. The crashing at my biological father's place. It's already taking the toll on me. Make some different choices, people. I'm watching this man sleep his way, or that's a loose term. This grown male sleep his way to a casket. He's incontinent. He thinks it's due to he had prostate cancer. And when you have prostate cancer, they give you several options. So people, especially to my fellows, make sure you do your prostate checks and your colon checks. When he did the prostate cancer, because my father likes to screw females, my father's a person who, his flesh rules him. Any fleshly desire, smoking, screwing, eating, okay? That rules him. It runs his life. I don't know if he doesn't have any self-control or he's so self-centered that he chooses it to stay in foolishness. So I do know he's very self-centered. So one of his kids, which I found out when I visited, is autistic. When he came into the money, the $120,000, he never contacted the mother of that child to say, do you need anything? Instead, my father pretty much, he bought his car. I'm not saying he's not supposed to enjoy some of his money, but the reality is you have a child who is in need, special needs, and he doesn't know where the kid is at. He doesn't care. We sat down a couple days ago, and I basically told him, I'm very direct, and I told him, I said, if I didn't look at you more like a friend, because there's the aspects of things of my friends that I don't like, as a father, I wouldn't F with you. No, I wouldn't. And the reason I say that, I told him about the abuses that I suffered a long time ago. He knew. But I also told him that my response video to my niece's sister regarding her abuses. His response to me, this is just how wacky my biological father is. Did you tell your mother's father, that's my grandfather, that your stepfather was doing that? He would have killed him. Well, don't get me wrong, probably that could have been the case. But the issue is, my father takes ownership for nothing. So because you weren't a father, some foul things happened to your children. My brother sent his ass in prison. I was a molest incest victim. And your solution to my problem is to tell my mother's father so that he can kill the stepfather. But you have nothing to do with it. Your hands are clean. He's foul. He's just a foul dude. And the sad part is, part of me feels sorry for him because he really is, it's as if he doesn't have a freaking clue. We're sitting there watching this commercial, and one of the wrestlers gets up and he's all excited about, he's got a newborn child. It's one of the UFC things. He's going to have a newborn baby. He's all excited about it. My biological father rolls his eyes. I'm like, why did you do that? It's stupid. Because this man is excited to be a man having a son or a daughter. That's what a father is. He should be excited. He's bringing life into the world. One thing I will say, and some truckers bother me, but a lot of male truckers that are either married or fathers, I notice that you do try to, you really try to input in your family, and a lot of reason you go out and do the work you do. Not all, but I've seen a good percentage of them, is in order to support a family. Trucker Bill is one. He actually has reared stepchildren as well as his own children. He's put stepchildren as well as his own children through college, through school. Right now, he has a daughter that you guys didn't get to meet, his daughter, whose mother passed away, and he brought her down to help her. She's young, with a baby on her own, and he's put some money out there to move his daughter to where he's at, to help her get into an apartment, to help with trying to help with his granddaughter. That's a dad. That's a granddad. My biological father, his grandchildren won't even come near him. When they see him, they scream and they go to somebody else. I think it's also how he carries himself. You see, Bill is a much more cleaner cut man. My biological father, he looks like a wild man. And I think he does that thuggy ghetto look because he attracts a certain type of female. That's why I said, I have problems with grown females and grown males. Yeah, I've seen 30-some-year-old grown males with their pants sagging down their ass. And you with a female raising some boys. What job can he get with his pants sagging down his ass? We need to be an example. It's beyond scope. And I'm like, first of all, you 30 years old with your pants sagging down your ass. And if people really knew the true meaning behind where sagging really originated. Sagging originated from gay dudes in jail getting protection from other males in jail to show them how tight that ass was so they could screw them in the booty. That's where it comes from. And we have glorified this thuggy look of this sagging stuff, and it's just disgusting, in my opinion. Your pants shouldn't be dropping unless you're going to go to the bathroom or you going to be with your girlfriend, your hopefully husband and wife, or your wife, or whatever you're doing in a private area. I don't want to see your ass. I just don't. It's insanity to me. I don't want to see a female ass. I don't want to see a male's ass walking down the street. I don't want to see it. If I'm not intimately involved with you, I don't want to see your ass. I'm sorry. I don't. And so, if you really want to know where it came from, and I'm not using the word, the straight community would call it you being a fag, basically being gay, showing them the ass they can get in prison for protection, cigarettes, or drugs. Simple as that. All of the above. That's where it originates from. Yes, it does. I got a family who's been in jail. I know where it originates from. I got some of them who did that. I know where it originates from. I got some DLs in the family. I know where it originates from. Yes, I do. So, when you see these people up here and these hip-hop stars and all these people doing this stupid stuff and you up here copying them, you're dumb as hell. I'm just saying. So, my father now, he's incontinent. He's going about these big boy pull-ups, which he's got to be spending about, I'm estimating them things are $15 to $20 a package. Plus, he buys the pads that go underneath because he's buying the ones that are fitted that look like regular underwear because he wants it to seem like he's still a dude that can be normal. And he really needs thicker ones. Really what he needs is to go on a catheter. But he doesn't want to do that because he thinks that makes him, I know he thinks he's less of a man. He made choices with his prostate thing. I don't think it's the prostate cancer that caused his incontinence. I think it's his diabetes. Because when he got done with the prostate cancer, he just, he was peeing regularly. Except, he had urgencies. Now, he has zero control. He can be sitting there and don't know when his pee is going to come out of his body. That means you need to be catheter. A friend of mine who is a RN, she said they told him he needs to be on a catheter. She says, but a lot of males who think that makes them a man, they can't accept it. So they go home and piss on themselves and do all this stupid stuff. And instead he's spending, because he goes and picks them up like if not every other night, every night. So he's got to be spending somewhere in the range, I'm going to say between $30 and $40 every night or every other night for this bullshit, or maybe even more. And just because you won't go get the medical treatment because you're so psychologically effed up in your head that you think that being able to stand over a toilet makes you a man. All the qualities that make a man have nothing to do with that. A man is someone who takes responsibility for his family, who cares about his children, who interacted with his children, who spoke into their lives for them to be decent human beings, who helped them grow and financially supported your children. You did none of that. So it's funny because I think he thought I was going to come down here. I'm not doing that. I mean, even the simple thing, and he's trifling. I've never met, my father's so lazy, he can't peel an orange. He like orange juice because he did this. He can just pour it. You don't have to peel it. Or you can go to the kitchen and cut it with a knife. That's too much work. My friend Joe said, I told my mom that. He said, he's got some really big balls. So, y'all, I'm trying to get through just the 30 days here. I didn't want to have to I didn't want to have to rent a room from a friend. I could stay here. Doesn't cost me any money. Money is already going to be tight. Get through my 30 days and then position myself for the next move. The good thing about what has happened, though, it has allowed me to refocus on what my goals were. And in looking at how my father is living his life, it has been, while it's an irritation, it's a blessing. Because again, it shows me what I don't want to do. It shows me I need to get the weight off because I don't, physically he's a thin guy. But on every other level, he's in better shape in some ways than a lot of people his age. But because he doesn't do anything but shit, sleep, and eat, and piss on himself, his faculties are going. So he doesn't think logically, even though he was already kind of illogical, he's even more so now. And all his life's desire is to do is to sleep. The only thing he wants sometimes, I think he wants me to go to breakfast because he's lonely. But it's hard, and I'm not a person who's about, I can't stand a lazy-ass male. I can't stand a lazy-ass person in general, but a male, especially the ones who think that women are supposed to clean the house, cook for them, and they don't do shit. He's so lazy. I made tea, like boiled tea. He leave the pitcher in the refrigerator with the little tea bags in it. I took the picture and threw it in the trash. I won't be making no more tea. Not for him. I'll make it for myself. Individual glasses. I was making it for all of us, or me, him, and then all you have to do is just put some soap in the pitcher and rinse it out and pour the tea bags out when you're done. That's too much for him, so he's just going to leave it in the back of the refrigerator. Really? Trash. There's a tea right now in the tea jar in there. As soon as that's gone, I'm gonna put the thing cap on it, put it on this thing. I ain't gonna wash it. I'm done. I make tea for myself. I won't be making big batches of tea. Because if you can't clean up after yourself and you think I'm supposed to clean up after you and all you do is sit in a chair and piss on yourself all day because you choose to do that, I'm not your indentured servant. You didn't do anything for me. So I'm going to help y'all with a little story about my interaction with him. And I'm friends because I guess, a friend of mine, my friend Joe, said to me, "You really are Christian." He said, because I couldn't even really probably be a friend with him, but it says a lot about you as a person that you can tolerate him even just as a friend. When I got sick when I was 29, I got very sick. I'm just going to say, I'm not going to get into all the details, but I got very, very sick. I could not walk. I had a big tumor in my stomach, and I did 3 stents in and out the hospital. I had pneumonia. I got at the hospital. My father was down in Phoenix on vacation, and he had already arranged to stay with me. And usually we would run around, and he would pay for lunch or dinner. And in the morning I would just normally cook breakfast, eat, and I had a coffee pot. I make coffee. He likes coffee. I like coffee. He thought after I got out the hospital I was going to get up, make breakfast, coffee for him. No, I'm not. On top of that, I had to go to a doctor's appointment as a follow-up from getting out the hospital. I could barely drive because I could barely move one of my legs. My father refused to drive me to my doctor's office that was 15 minutes from my house because I don't like to drive in Arizona. I don't like driving. This is why I had to tell him the other night once he made a little comment about my grandfather supposed to be there to defend me. My grandfather's not my father. You weren't in place. You weren't a man. You should have been there to defend your child. He possibly has another girl by a whole nother woman who told him she gave this girl to her uncle to raise. I was like, oh, no. You need to find out where your child is. He don't care. I said, this girl could be being molested, raped. You don't know what kind of abuse this girl might be going through, but you need to at least know the well-being. Now, I personally don't know that I believe this woman had a child by him. If you understand my father enough, because he can manipulate women, that is who he tends to lean towards. So he tends to lean towards females, his daughters, because he feels he can manipulate them to do the things he wants. And he tells me, he says, I told people, we're more friends than father and daughter because sometimes you say stuff to me, I'd be like, hot damn, cowgirl. I said, well, a father gets respect. A male doesn't. He gets truth. I don't know what to tell you. Because I tell him what I think, and I don't really care, and I just walk out. And that's kind of what we've gotten to, and sometimes I don't say anything. When I don't say anything, he knows I'm done. So I've been kind of quiet over the past few days because I'm just, it's nothing you can say to somebody, A, who's eating their way to the casket, and B, who's just sorry as hell. And just some of the comments that he made, the whole thing with the father thing, when he made it, I'm like, what is wrong with you? I haven't even asked about the autistic brother. I did ask him, I said, you need to find out where this little boy is at. He don't care. He just sits there. I'm just like, okay. But then you want us to be there, like he thinks my brother Jonathan, my half-brother Jonathan, was going to come stay there in the second room and live with him and help him. Did you help Jonathan? Other than maybe some other issues. If it's ghetto stuff, he'll help you with that. If it's some ghetto fix, he'll help you with the ghetto stuff. Because I think he enjoys being in a bigger position to help the kids with the ghetto stuff. But if it's serious stuff where you really need help, worthless. Absolutely worthless. Anyway, y'all, make different decisions with your life. And for my trucker males out there in transportation who are actually supporting your family, raising your kids, thank you for being good fathers. Thank you for not being this idiot. And when you go retire, please don't just sit in a freaking chair and sleep your way to the casket. Find something to do in your life with purpose. And don't think that because if you no longer can sleep with a female or whatever you sleep with, that doesn't make you a man. A man is somebody who takes care of his responsibility, treats human beings with decency and respect, does things in decency and respect, and not as sorry as hell. My father can't change a light bulb on a car. Yeah, can't. One woman he used to mess with, the shower was messed up. He went over there to take a shower, and he gonna tell her shower head's messed up, and she checked his ass. And he's like, I don't know why she got so mad. Because you're a male with a penis working on the railroad, and if your sorry ass shakes a shower in her house because your shower's not working, and as a courtesy, you're not even seeing her anymore, and as a courtesy, she lets you use the shower, and you want to complain about her shit, then you should be able to fix her shit. I can change a shower head, and I'm a girl. Well, I'm not mechanically inclined. That's because you're a sucky-ass male. You're a trick. I'm sorry. I went there. I said, so if you're not getting it, I get why she checked your ass. Because it's hard if you even half of a woman and you deal with a sorry-ass male. But ladies, y'all choose to do that. Because I don't know who would lay down with him. I understand the deception because he can be charming and he's funny. But once you know what he is, run like hell. Well, I told one woman that was interested in my father, leave his ass alone. I'm ranting. This is going to be my rambling rant. This lady, she going to tell me, well, at least he offered to pay for a cab for you to go to your doctor's. What's wrong with you? Something's wrong with you. And you want to get with that? You're crazy as hell. Make different choices, people. Make different choices. And like I said, to my transportation males, because I do, like Trucker Bill, Trainer Bill, and some of the other ones that I know who are supporting your family. My boy Mike, my two Mikes. I got two Mikes. Raising your kids, taking awesome guys. You guys are men. Thank you. And Mike, you even serve military. Thank you. Don't be like this a-hole. He is horrific. And, I don't know what that is. I don't get it. Have purpose to your life. So, this is my second week on the CPAP. So I hit 7 hours the other night. I hit just under 5 last night. I didn't sleep good last night. But I did about 5 hours last night. Just under 5. And so, we'll get through the rest of the week. And I've gotten all my pay stuff from my company. So I don't have to worry about that anymore. I will have this other stuff up on the other trucker channel. This is more of a rant. Just kind of checking in. Trying to think if there's anything else. That's it. Just checking in right now. And I'll start doing the applications probably end of next week. Because then that'll leave me with... if I get into next week or beginning of the following week. Because it'll be like February 15th that I'll be able to roll out of here. And I'm already counting down. That's how irritating he is. 2 and 2. Be blessed. Be safe. If you like the channel, like, subscribe. If you just passing through, pass through. Give us a thumbs up. Um, I've got a series going on the Revelation Live channel, and I put the link in a previous video. So I'll be doing more on that. And like I said, a lot of it, it's funny how you can be inspired by buttholes. Peace, y'all.